One day, I stood in front of my closet, astonished. I just took all of my clothes out and rearranged it back in that afternoon. I had no idea I owned so many clothes, and I wondered, why do I feel like I have nothing to wear? Why do I have the need to buy more? Hi, I'm Nethra, here today to take you guys through a story of how, by adding vibrancy to your closet, you're drawing out color from our planet. And let's see how by changing your closet, you can change the world. I asked this question to myself, and now I ask you, why do we wear clothes? For a second, I was blank too, and I googled it and found out that clothing's main purpose is to protect our body from dust, insects, rain, and sunlight. Just like food, water, and shelter, clothing is one of the fundamental needs of life. As long as it stays in your needs section, it's harmless. But when it crosses the line to your wants section, that is when the problem begins. And for most of us, it already has. We just haven't realized it yet. Imagine you're going for a job interview. More than dusting up your resume, you dust up the best suit you have and have it neatly ironed to make a good impression, right? There's an untold dress code for every occasion. We have uniforms for schools, jeans and t-shirts for hanging out with friends, formals for work, scrubs for doctors, and whatnot. And moreover, you'll be seen weird wearing a uniform to a party or a party wear to work, right? Why? After all, clothing's main purpose is to protect our body. The global fashion industry is worth more than $1.7 trillion today. The original motive of clothes is lost long ago. So there's a study held by two people, Haji Adam and Adam Digalinsky. So they divided a couple of undergrad students into three groups, and they were all given the same white lab coat. The twist is that the first group was told that it was a doctor's coat, and they were told to wear it. The second group, however, was also told that it was a doctor's coat, but this time they were not allowed to wear it. It just lay there beside them. And the third group was told that it was a painter's coat, and they were told to wear it. And they were all given a brain test. So the results were that the group which wore the doctor's coat had better results compared to the other two, which showed no change. This emphasizes that the clothes we wear and what it symbolizes greatly affects how we perceive ourselves. It even limits our ability to carry out different tasks. And this is how the ever-changing trends affect us too. When we are out of trend, we feel insecure. But according to me, trends are just a temporary set of rules set by a random person who tells you what you should wear for your friend's party to fit in. But almost 2 in 3 teenagers feel insecure about their looks. And these trends have given them a platform to feel like they belong, which has led to the birth of fast fashion. Fast fashion is when industries aim to produce cheaper and quicker garments to meet the demands of their target consumers, people between the age of 18 to 24. Some of the famous fast fashion brands include H&M, Zara, Shein, Forever 21, and more. As the cost of the clothes went down, the environmental cost of it, however, shot up. World's 10% of the carbon emission is from the fashion industry. Being the second largest consumer of water, they also release chemical and synthetic effluents into water bodies. The best part is, 85% of the clothes manufactured end up in landfills. And if you wish to maintain your clothes well, washing your clothes releases microplastics into the environment. And did you know, manufacturing one t-shirt requires the same amount of water an average man consumes in the span of 2 years. It takes up 2,700 liters of water to make a t-shirt. And over 2 billion t-shirts are being made every year, which means they take up 54 followed by 11 zeros. That's the amount of water consumed. And that's just t-shirts. Over 6 billion pairs of jeans are being made every year, which approximately require the same amount of water. Imagine the amount of water consumed by our clothes. The fashion industry has not only ill-treated the environment, but also its employees, the people who make our clothes. Have you ever wondered how much they're paid? Last year, the US Department of Labor Wage and Hours Division Southern California found out that in a region of major production, 80% of the contractors violated the legal minimum wage. That is, they paid their workers $1.58 in a place of $15 per hour. So these people had to work an average of 15 hours to earn the cost of one t-shirt you buy. And since more and more people were aware of all these ill effects of fast fashion, the consumer trend in the fashion industry started to change. People now wanted to buy from brands with a mission. That is, they chose sustainable fashion. What is sustainable fashion, you ask? Sustainable fashion is when industries aim to produce and they use less carbon emissions, and they produce their garments using natural fibers, and they only produce a limited number of goods while also using renewable resources to produce. But as the trends in the fashion industry started to change, the consumers wanted for sustainable fashion, so the industries changed in order to adapt, and that is when greenwashing began. Greenwashing is when industries claim to be sustainable while actually not being so. One of the top fast fashion brands have the line of conscious choice, which is said to be sustainable. But if you take a closer look, they never mention how they are sustainable. In 2 decades of sustainability report, they claim to be the #1 buyer of cotton. Does that make it sustainable? Even another brand claims that by 2023, all their clothes will be made up of plant fibers like cotton. Not to mention their names though, but this does not make them sustainable. Producing 1 kg of cotton requires 10,000 liters of water, and global cotton production takes over 250 billion tons of water. And these companies produce an average of 16 to 24 collections each year. And imagine if all of these clothes were made up of cotton, the amount of water consumed. The European Union reports that 42% of the green claims by companies are either false, exaggerated, or deceptive. But none of that matters because consumers just want guilt-free fashion. They want to walk into a store that claims to be sustainable so they can claim themselves to be sustainable. But who are we fooling? A survey reports that 69% of the people are willing to pay more and are ready to be okay with delayed shipment if the company is sustainable. But the last time I checked in, sustainability is not defined by how much money you can pay. And that's why I am here today to ask you all to join me in this journey towards sustainable fashion. It may not be a fixed path, but I'm sure it's not impossible. So the first and foremost step all of you can take towards sustainable fashion is that start to buy less. Think before you build that garment. How necessary is that in life? How will it change you? How many times will you use that dress? How many times will you wash it? What material is it made up of? Is it synthetic or natural? And how are you planning on disposing it? Are you going to throw it off or give it to someone else? And the second step towards sustainability is that every man and woman should learn basic sewing. In our technology-filled world, it's not that hard to find a 10-minute tutorial to teach you to do that. This means you can mend your clothes, and which ultimately results in buying less. Moreover, if you learn basic sewing, it means you can upgrade your closet. Imagine you're bored of a t-shirt. You can alter its length or sleeves or add embellishments to it or different patchworks The possibilities are endless. And for most of you who love fashion, you may think of sustainable fashion as something like dressing up like Steve Jobs, wearing the same black t shirt and dad jeans for years. But it's actually not. And here's how. I'm the trend maker. So following trends is what led us to buy more and more of clothes. So stop following the trends and start following you. Being trendy and being stylish is often confused. Anyone can walk into a store, buy the latest trend, but only a few can wear it creatively to bring out the best in them. And another major component of being stylish is your attitude. With confidence and a great smile, you can shine even in the most dull dress. And I know 95% of what I said will be forgotten and the moment I walk out of the stage. And when you head home, this will just be another speech you heard. So the one thing I wish for all of you to take away from my speech is that sustainability is something that cannot be forced. So it requires your time, will, and energy. Moreover, sustainability is not something you do for others or for me. It's something you do for yourselves. It's something you do for your future generation to be able to experience what we have now. Clothing is something that cannot be avoided. You're going to wear clothes till the day you die. So let's find ways to make it sustainable so that wearing what you wear right now is not harming the environment. And it's in your hands now to rewrite this vibrant story. Are you willing to give it a twist? Or are you going to make it monotonous by continuing to be the same? Let's change the world by changing what we wear. Thank you.